I mean, I don't think they're as good as C-3PO, but they're not that far off, are they? I mean, we're back. We're going to talk a little bit more about AI. Yeah, I think I don't know that you can have one droid that does it all, because I think there are certain things, just because the physical realities of it. So you're going to want to have a tiny one that goes into your air ducts and cleans your air ducts, for example. You're going to want to have a big one that's used for construction. But I think in terms of the sorts of things that you're going to see in your house, why would you have a vacuum cleaner and a translator, for example, when you could just have a single robot that just plugs in a vacuum on its arm? And so I think those sorts of things are just going to become harmonized into one item as well.
Sticking with Star Wars for a second.
Yeah.
Star Wars have got this huge translator droid that walks around and he can do thousands and thousands of different languages. New AirPods 3?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they're as good as C-3PO, but they're not that far off, are they? I mean, and also that is also kind of 1970s thinking that you need to have such a big thing, whereas we have commoditized a lot of that functionality into different things, and say translation, you can put it in your ear, which makes a lot more sense because you don't have somebody kind of in between you and the person you're talking to. And it's the same thing with the Google Translate that you use on your phone to translate text. I mean, that's inevitably going to become in glasses and so on. And I think that's an example of the functionality that a user wants driving the implementation of the tool. You don't need a robot to do that stuff. Car is another example. Driverless cars, you have to have a car in order for it to be driven. Do you have to have 4 seats and everything in there, or can you have something that's got a much more cinematic in the background, and so you sit in the back and watch a movie that's on a nice sofa? There's all sorts of things that will be driven by the market, but fundamentally they're the same thing. They're robots and AI driving those things. But the way in which we interact with the world, like the AirPods and so on, drives those rather than robot design driving those.